La 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 la, sta calabrisella morire mi fa. La 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 la, sta calabrisella morire mi fa. Da vista la fontana calamavi, calabrisella mia, questi occhi scuri, quando al muro i panni tu lavavi, t'hai rubato i miei muccatori, calabrisella mia, calabrisella mia, calabrisella mia, giuri d'amore, calabrisella mia, calabrisella mia, calabrisella.
Today for lunch, we're gonna have a base di salata. We got capicola, we got soppressata, we got salsiccia,
Pass it around.
homemade,
That's better.
along with sottageti, formaggio, bocconcini, tomatoes, beans and salad.
And I noticed a signature piece of herb on that bean. Classic. Give it to me.
Basil,
No, give it to
oregano.
me. One more. Come on.
On which salad?
On the bean salad.
Mint.
You got it, Dominic. Mint.
Mint. Oh wow! Jesus. I didn't even know that.
That was a skill testing
I didn't
question.
even know that. Henry, bon appetit, guys.
Perfect.
Enjoy.
Fried artichokes. Grilled artichokes.
You guys grab, and first of all, the cheeses. I got, this is Parmigiano over here. This is Pecorino and Asiago and Pecorino is over here.
Aquí chiami pecorino.
A ti.
Guys, bon appetit. Frank's got it, but you're okay.
Don, do you want some?
Not right now.
Say that again.
Eddie, pass it.
Say that again. A buddy of mine's wife. I was looking forward to seeing you know what there's with the.
Basically, this is pork
But
belly.
you made that this year for the very first time?
Yeah, for the first time. Basically, the pork belly is the underside of the pork, right? It's a nice fillet. It's about
This makes an awesome cover.
yeah, about
Well, I mean, I just made that last weekend.
Carbonara with pancetta.
With pancetta, a bit of sliced.
It's
So, hey, after all this conversation, hold on a second, Dominic. I can't believe it. We've got special guest Bullfrog here. Old
Bullfrog,
school.
yes.
Old school. And Domenic Greco. We're back at it. You remember our first episode of Domenic Greco's Cantina? Well, we're back. And now Dominic made some beautiful charcuterie. Calabrese charcuterie.
Yes.
So we're talking about the pancetta.
Pancetta.
And Bullfrog was talking about having this beautiful spaghetti alla carbonara.
It's arrotolato.
Which is basically, the carbonara is basically the spaghetti for the coal makers, right? Hold on a second. I don't believe it.
Oh.
Not only do we, episode number 2 of Domenic Greco's Cantina, special guest.
Special guest.
Absolutely, come on into the screen.
I'm eating some peanuts.
So what we've got is special guest Frank here, Frank Peluso. Goes back a long way.
I'm sorry to interrupt here. I wasn't
No,
prepared to
but-
interrupt.
You just
I
came out
got my mouth full of peanuts.
stage right.
If I would have known.
Well, if you want, we got some wine.
Should I brush my teeth?
No.
No, we're good?
We're good.
It's a little busy in here.
It's a little-
Signora, vieni.
Frank,
Just a local saint, by the way.
Well, come on in.
This is
We had the pleasure of coming to Domenic Greco's Cantina, and we got the whole tour. We traveled all over Europe in this one little small space. Now Dominic's celebrating his fine art that's, I'm sure, passed down from your dad and your
Yes.
family, and he's keeping it alive. This is the magic that parents do, and the gift that parents give to children. They have these wonderful traditions, and you think nothing absorbs. No. Things are absorbing. And this is a prime example of that absorbing love and sharing of knowledge and the love of food. Because Calabrese people, we love food. Dominic, describe this again. You took this prosciutto, and you massaged it.
For 2 weeks, I kept it in salt. I kept it in a container. Every day I would massage it, and I would at the end of the day, just keep it on one side, next day on the other, and continuously for 2 weeks massage the salt. And periodically, every 2-3 days, I would add some more salt.
Again, we talked about that absorbing and release.
Absorbing. So this way,
absorbing
the
that.
prosciutto absorbs as much salt
Yeah,
as
it was
possible for preserving purposes, right? But there's no other chemicals, no,
No,
it's
of
just
course
salt
We
and love.
we look at love without the key
Exactly.
ingredient, but we're talking about mold here.
Yeah.
And earlier with Frank off camera, we were talking about that it's not necessarily a bad thing; it's actually a good thing. It's telling us that it's working.
Yeah, it's working, and it's also like it's basically telling you that there's a protective skin
Right on.
that it has developed, right? The muffa there.
Muffa. Now,
Muffa.
for the non-Calabrese people, muffa translated in the Latin dictionary as mold.
Mold, yes. And mold, as you know, in cheese, if mold was bad for you, we wouldn't be eating too many blue cheese, Roquefort, Gorgonzola,
All the
which
classics.
is full of all the classics.
They're all
right?
mold,
It's basically
bacteria based.
basically telling you that the product is good
Is
to
working.
eat.
We also talked about the pancetta. Now that's a beautiful product.
Yeah.
And not only it tastes amazing, but it actually presented in a classic way. See, your dad taught you how to tie this.
Yeah.
Okay, it wasn't not only for decorative purposes, but it's holding in all that goodness because it is a classic bacon, but it's rolled into a rotolo.
Yes, it's the belly part of the pork. I kept it in salt for 24 hours.
Again, preservation.
And for 24 hours on one side and then the other. Then I rolled it up, but I put the bladder.
Yeah.
I encased it
Right.
in pig bladder.
Fantastic.
And this now is since February, the first week of February. This we could actually eat. This now.
Yeah, and it's still soft.
Yes.
Hold on a second. Wait. I see someone on camera. Frank. You gotta come on in. Come on in. Just give me a special guest. Now, Frank, you and Frank go back a long way.
Yeah.
We grew up together.
Yes.
Look, yeah. And
Since high school.
In high school. Now, you got to give us a Calabrese memory. Come on, take us back into your basement.
Well, this is where, as children, we grew up in a household where you'd have half a dozen uncles coming over, and it would kind of look like this. The scenario.
Go. Give us a scenario.
They go down this narrow passageway that usually was from the kitchen, and it went down into the cellar, and the entire stairway must have been about 1.5 feet,
Right.
at best. And the uncles all slim,
Yeah, right.
all slim, weighing in, starting anywhere from 250 and change, going down with nothing but the Italian,
Itapine.
the slippers, the tapini, and the Italian smoking jacket, which is the Henry Ganottiera, and it has to be a Henry. If it's not a Henry,
They bought it at Ajuda. They went to Ajuda.
Judah or Grace Textile.
Grace
Textile,
You know,
Yeah.
same thing.
Or you safe
Or
side.
on
You
or
see-
you safe side.
Because they give you a free espresso.
And they'd be
And
down
a
there,
pair of rolls.
and the morning would start off with you know, the liter of red wine and the little glasses, and they'd start cutting up the meat, slicing it all up, putting it in the machine, squeezing it through that intestine, and you know, the ladies running upstairs and frying some of it to make sure that it was all.
That's actually important
done right.
because
Yeah, they would taste it,
salt.
and they would taste whether the salt was good enough or not, and then run back down and say, "Ci vuole ancora!"
That was
and they put
classic.
it, they put in a
and that
little
was
more.
basically a measurement.
Pasu people!
Again, that's a measurement.
That's a measurement.
Because
Yeah.
it was all based on how loud they
Yeah,
instructed the crowd.
You know-
Was it a handful? Was it a pinch?
Yeah, but how do you put that in a
cookbook.
in a cookbook? Chihuangora. You know, is it a spoon? Is it? I don't know. Go fry it up again, and let's try it again. And the process, and it was being a part of the process. And we'd be upstairs screaming and yelling. Occasionally they'd come up, give us a backhander or two, just put us all back in order, and then back downstairs, and we'd go at it.
Did you help at all?
Help.
I mean, Domenic must have absorbed a lot of this.
You know,
goodness from
Domenic went to Domenic was the boy that went to the school.
the U of U of P, U of Pancetta.
Yeah. Domenic went to the school, and I was upstairs taking care of everything else. So Domenic went to the school, so now I come over here and eat it at Dom's.
Well, on that closing note, we also want to thank Domenic for having us again in this beautiful sanctuary of the Greco Cantina. Thank you. God.
Now, I don't know how good that came out, but
Let's see, I'll stop that. Let's see.
I could imagine. You mean you're going to show this on YouTube? My God.
The bottom line is, Frank, that it's not a gathering if you don't have the people, your friends, your family with you. And I thank everyone for the kind words, but it's all of us that make the day. Without everyone, there's no day. Of course, I got to thank my mother and my sister that were, so.
Hi there.
So dedicated to make sure that everything went okay. My mother, there's no words. My mother, I owe everything to my mother and my sister for helping. For my mother, it's also special because not everyone at the table, but there's quite a few of us at the table that used to come here as children, as young, as teenagers, and my father used to love serving salami, drinking the wine, getting us drunk before we go out. Because you need it. It makes you happier. It loosens you up.
Well, that's what I do now. I drink a bottle of Grey Goose.
Mind you, I don't suggest that nowadays, I think. But I mean in the vein of happiness, of family,
I get to the bar, I'm drunk.
of being together and talking and sharing. This is what we're doing today. I thank you, Frank,
Thank God for that.
because sometimes it's good to show people what's happening, what people are doing, that culture and traditions are not dead, they're alive. And people like you and everyone at this table is trying to keep culture and tradition alive. Thank you.
Thank you, Dominic. Who made you really possible is right behind you.
Hey!
Now, in the Calabrese, Frank, they would say mamata. Mamata.
Tu e mamma.
Do it, mama.
Tu e mamma.
Now, Dominic, and also we're gonna get Rita. We're gonna get Rita on camera in a second because two special women in your life. What would you say to your mom right now on the work that she did today?
Oh, gosh.
And same in Calabrese. And Frank, interject.
I'm going to wait till he finishes,
Okay.
and then I'll see what I need to say about
Go ahead.
Dominic and his family.
Go ahead, Dominic.
Let's talk.
Parla.
Thank you.
That said a lot without saying too much.
We customized ourselves to the Canadian culture and so on, but we still maintain our heritage. But Dominic takes it one step further. Always. Dominic hasn't left anything behind since his father's passing. He's maintained exactly what his father would do when it's regard to wine or regard to salami or capeco or having people at the table. His father held court. Now Dominic holds court. And he entertains a few of his good friends that he still likes to spend time with, considering some that haven't rehabilitated, even though they're in rehab. It hasn't been working. Hands up! But anyway, I'm going to maintain this and I'm going to keep going because I think that is the beauty of what I'm trying to do here, and I'm not going to try to lose focus.
Don't worry, you're invited.
But all I'm going to say is that Dominic brings us back to our roots, and by holding these luncheons, and you could tell by the food that he puts on the table, it's all traditional. From the bottom of my heart, I can't thank you enough by putting the right people together on a beautiful Saturday afternoon and making us just eat and just spend some time. Thank you.
You know what? Thank you very much for all your help today.
You're welcome.
It does not go unnoticed. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I know the deal. That's what I get.